All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, today I wanted to make a very short and sweet, impactful episode. And actually, before I even jump into it, this episode is releasing on Emma's birthday. Shout out Emma! Everyone say happy birthday! We're actually spending the entire day with herself, family, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But what I wanted to talk about today was like summer shred expectations. You know, I have a goal right now with my clients, and that is to do a minimum of 10K step goal, and we always have a water goal going on. So, but that's not actually necessarily a challenge, more so a expectation amongst the crowd. But I just want to talk about summer shred expectations because there's a huge like stigma around like people wanting to get in shape, not only for like New Year's resolutions, but like also for like summertime and like looking good and having confidence to take off their shirts and like feel good in their bathing suits and all these different things. And alongside that, on like not to make it a side tangent right quick as well alongside it, but like it's like when it comes to like summer and wanting to look good, it just comes down to like lower body fat and shredding fat in general. Like there's so many stigmas of it being something that we don't have access to or something that we're not doing, and it's always something we're not doing, but it's like we always think it's something that's like tangible, transactional, that's just gonna like give us this immediate success, and it's nothing to do with that. It's 90% of it is lifestyle. Obviously to a certain degree of shredding fat and building muscle, you need to have a lot of fucking discipline with like your calories and like your output and your workouts and your cardio. But the biggest thing is like the bigger picture and where you have so much attention to details that accumulate over time. So when I talk about summer shred expectations, I'm going to break it down into a handful of like literally non-negotiables that I have amongst my clients and amongst my life. And I'm really trying to hammer them home just around everyone that's around me, because it's like, I am in really good shape all year round, and I take a lot of pride on that. And for the longest time, I used to just think I was arrogant for like holding my chin high just with confidence with how I looked and how I held myself. But really, I'm healthy as fuck. I take care of myself. I barely get sick. I take things for my immune health, like all these different things. And it's like, I just feel like, when I got to a certain age where I realized my path wasn't too bright. So I wanted to make it bright. I even joked with one of my clients I was on a call with the other day that I will not say I'm going to live less than 100 years old, because I just want to be here as long as I can, as healthy as I can. And honestly, like everything that comes down to like, summer shred expectations, having a low body fat, being a more lean build, comes down to what I'm about to say about my lifestyle expectations. I just keep a holistic lifestyle. And it's not about having like, 6 and 8 pack of abs all year round, but it's about feeling confident and at least knowing where you're at amongst the masses, right? In terms of your goals. So the first one, automatically, when it comes to shredding fat and being like healthy and all these different things, especially when it comes to dialing in your diet for summer, is your water goal. You gotta have your water goal absolutely up there, because if your body's not hydrated, you're just straight up not gonna be in a good position to do anything. And it's crazy because I've talked about it before. I don't need to go on this rant about it right now, but about like, when your body's dehydrated, it can't function. It can't do anything. Like literally me right now, when being in prep, I can tell like I get way more cognitive messed up function and like mental fog when I'm dehydrated than being on low calories right now. And it's crazy because if I can focus on hydration and make sure that I'm always like drinking and sipping water, not just drinking water, but hydrated, making sure I have my electrolytes and things of that nature, like my body just stays in a functioning state that's so much more optimal. And you got to understand it. It's one of those things that like if you can go not just a couple of days, but like a couple of weeks, a couple of months, like let's say a year with never being dehydrated, like man, you got to understand what that's going to do for your body. Like we're literally made up of more water. And I don't want to go on tangent, I said I'm not going to, but water, get your fucking water goals in. Minimum, I say right now for everyone, minimum 3 liters. Get that extra step in, because that leads me to my second point, which is, your step goal, your movement goal outside of the gym. You need to have more things you're doing outside of the gym. Not to sound rude, not to sound blunt, but like a lot of my clients, some of you guys do 3 to 4 times a week, and I usually say like a healthy is 4. But if you're going less than 4, like you're really not going to see success when it comes to like significant improvement. And keyword, significant. You got to be doing a lot of output. That's why I'm saying step goal and movement goal outside of the gym, because it's your output, your total output. Me being in prep right now, all it is balancing 2 sides of the coin. One is intake. So how much am I eating? And then output. How much am I outputting? My workouts, my cardio, things like that, to make sure I'm balancing, building muscle while also leaning. We're not really building muscle right now, but like leaning out without losing any of my muscle. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest thing with the step goal and movement goal outside of the gym is like, a few tips is one, make sure you're doing 5 to 10 minutes of cardio before you do your workouts. That's going to add up. You do 4 or 5 days in the gym, 6 days in the gym, that's an hour of cardio a week. You know what I mean? Add 10, 15, 20 minutes if you can post workout. That'll add up over the course of the week. Go for a walk at least midday. I always say that. That's a whole different conversation. Shout out Lisa. We just started talking about that a lot recently. But like that midday walk, that's 2 to 3 minutes that just gets you outside. But like obviously like not 2 or 3 minutes. So try to go 15, 20 minutes if you can. But like before you go to bed, 15, 20 minutes, like try to start building up these steps and these patterns where you just have a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't always have to be related to just summer shredding and getting in shape for summer. But, having a lot of movement is going to like put your body in a state when you're hydrated to not only shred that fat, but be in a state to like move all the like excess weight around and things and see success. Then the third thing is like, nutrition standards. You know what I mean? Having a non-negotiable relationship with yourself to like, limit your LC intake and limit your outings, knowing that they're a waste of your time at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like we want to look good and feel good for summertime and our lifestyle. I'm not saying say no to every single barbecue and every single like function, every single like wing night and things like that. Patio season's coming. It's going to feel great. But it's like have a standard with your nutrition where you have whole foods for a minimum of 3 to 4 meals every single day. So breakfast, don't miss breakfast. Have a good high protein whole food breakfast. Mine every day is always oats with protein and peanut butter. If I'm not in prep, I always have some fruit, some honey and things like that. And then I always have 2 other whole meals, whether it's like poultry and then like beef, you know what I mean, with potatoes and rice, things like that. And before I go to bed, I have Greek yogurt or like more egg whites, things like that. And I have this standard, and it's like you got to understand it accumulates over time. But in order to get not only in shape for summer, but having that healthy lifestyle is having that nutrition standard where you have the whole foods for 3 or 4 meals every single day. You know what I mean? And then like to be honest, like that's the only way that, again, going into the last point, how you're going to gain that muscle and have that lean body for the summer, and not only for the summer but your entire life, right? Is to be able to reiterate the entire list to you is water goal. Make sure your body is hydrated. Make sure your body is in a state to be functioning and staying operational and never being like burnt out from your own fucking ill will by not paying attention to the standards. And then the second thing is step goal and your movement goal outside of the gym, making sure you're not just going to the gym, lifting weights, or doing your performance goals and going home and sitting down. Like making sure you're actively moving your body, because not only does that help you shred body fat, but it's active recovery. It's just good for your body, and it's just like it's good habits to have in your lifestyle. So you're not just sitting around like going through Instagram, watching Netflix, or wasting your time, things like that. Third thing, nutrition standards, like I just said, is like, having those whole foods, 3 to 4 whole food meals a day, just making sure you're getting good nutrient dense foods into you. Like I can't stress it enough. And then you have to be able to put yourself into a state, like I said, to reiterate them all, to build that muscle, have that muscle mass you're looking for in that lean body leading into the summer. But like I said, in my opinion, these aren't even like non-negotiables for summer shredding and getting in alignment with feeling good for the summer in terms of taking a shirt off and going to the beach and things like that. But I just think it's like, there should be a priority in your life regardless to have these as your standards. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I'm not saying like, 20K steps a day and, go to the gym 7 days a week and all these things. Like, it's just about like, there's a whole different conversation about understanding seasons of going to the gym more often than not. But it's like, I think the water goal, at the end of the day, staying hydrated, it's a non-negotiable for your life. Like, you don't even regardless of what you're doing in your life. Same thing with your step goal. Like, it's good to be having these habits in your lifestyle, to be going for a walk after your breakfast or after dinner before you go to bed, these things like that. Doing 10 minutes after the gym, after your workout to kind of cool down and things like this. Like, it's good, especially if you're sedentary, understanding you don't move, things like this. It's just healthy lifestyle. It has nothing else to do with anything else. And then, nutrition standards, you're just understanding like a self-love, self-component, and giving yourself self-compassion and fueling yourself, not just for the gym and what you're doing in there to build muscle and have all these goals, but to function, to be your absolute best all times, everywhere you go, to show up for your partner, show up for your friends, to show up for work, show up for your goals, show up for above all else, yourself, your absolute best, you know what I mean? To fuel yourself, just why would you not do that? And then, the rest of the stuff that I said about like the lean body, gaining that muscle mass, all these different things, limiting your LC intake and outings, like all of that's a whole other side tangent in terms of your own boundaries and things like that. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think these are, in my opinion, our life non-negotiables regardless of summer coming out. But that's it. That's all that I have for this episode. I appreciate you guys all. Like I said, shout out Emma. It's her birthday. Let's go. And, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I also, one thing I have been asking people to do lately, if you could and you got time, is to leave a review. I'm trying to get more reviews on here because I'm really trying to, I got some big things coming up. I can't talk about it yet, but things are in motion and I'm really close to announcing some stuff. And cross your fingers if you give a fuck, because things could be moving quick. And if they move quick like I want them to, it's going to be a huge blessing. And that's thank you to every single one of you guys. But other than that, I appreciate you guys all. These are life and non-negotiables, not just summertime. But if you want your summer to come in the best, this is how you do it. Let's go.
Text, I know she come. You're the one she blocking out. I'm the one she talk about.